What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So as you can see, the setup has changed. Did manage, for those of you that know, I did move. I did get my camcorder and my microphone out. This is a temporary setup for filming for the next few days. So a few videos are going to look like this. This is typically going to be kind of where my live stream setup's going to be. Recorded videos are going to change. You'll see more of the fragrance wall and stuff like that moving forward. But it was travel week across the country, from Colorado, stopping in Texas, stopping in Louisiana, final destination in the Florida Panhandle. So basically, across most of the country, a lot of mileage. So what did I wear is what it comes down to. It's the weekly rotation, and there's quite a bit of variety, from niche stuff that you may not be too familiar with to some designers, some clones, it's a little bit of everything. But it smelled great, and that's what matters, right? It's week number 190 in the weekly rotation, so stay tuned. Starting off on Sunday was the first day of travel. This is one I've been meaning to spend more time with, and for around 15 bucks, it's one of the best options you can buy, in my opinion. It's from Lattafa. It is called Ejaazi Intensive Silver. It's highly reflective fingerprint magnet. You can see all the different colors from my background on my monitor and everything in the reflection. But this fragrance, very aquatic cardamom fragrance. So has a little bit of a violet smell, even though there's no violet. It just blows my mind. But very aquatic and watery. Beautiful sprayer, with kind of this more fresh, spicy, slightly sweet cardamom feel, a little powdery. People seem to relate this one online to La Nuit de l'Homme Bleu Electrique, and I kind of get the tie-in, though it's not quite as spicy and powdery overall, but it does have kind of that sweet aquatic feel that I think separates it a bit from La Nuit de l'Homme and La Nuit de l'Homme Bleu Electrique, but good stuff nonetheless. I picked this up for 15 bucks online from fragrancebuy.ca. I'll try to have links to everything down below for you guys to check out if you're interested, but performance is really good. This was still on my skin because I sprayed the top of my forearms, and I clocked it at 9-10 hours, still being there, but not a faint skin scent. Not the strongest sillage at that point, obviously, but this is good stuff. Obviously, a very cheap fragrance that you're not really going to be able to get a sample. You're blind buying for under 20 bucks, and I got to be honest with you, this is one of the best under $20 blind buys that I think you can get. During the day, Lattafa's Ejaazi Intensive Silver. And then we've got the shower. So I did a 3-part series of rack store hunts across 3 different states: Texas, Louisiana, and Florida. So the first leg was in Texas, and one of the fragrances I picked up was Clean Classic Pure Soap. So I wore this most of the week out the shower. I really like this. My wife really likes this. We actually both wore it out the shower this night. So very powdery, aromatic, little citrusy, but a lot of florals here, as you would expect. Soapy clean. A little on the feminine side. Don't get me wrong, it is. It's not going to be for everybody, but I picked the 60 ml up for $20 at Ross Dress for Less, and this is one of the best $20 rack store pickups I've ever had. This is going to be a little bit of a challenge for guys that like the more masculine scents, but if you like clean, soapy fragrances, as the name would indicate, that are kind of dominated by florals here, it kind of has that somewhat shampoo and conditioner kind of feel to it, as well as lathered soap. Like, think bath products in general, bath bombs and such, bubble bath, like all these different things. That's typically going to lean a little bit on the feminine side. I understand, guys. It's not going to be for everybody. So even for 20 bucks, blind buy at your own risk, but I really enjoy it. Hence the reason you're going to see it featured in multiple days during this week. Out the shower, Clean Classic Pure Soap. Moving into Monday, we were hitting the road, and I wanted something that was going to stick with me throughout the day, that wouldn't overwhelm, but would be a nice change of pace. Sitting in an air-conditioned truck, U-Haul truck all day long, I wanted something enjoyable like Invictus Victory. I've been meaning to spend some time with this one since I finally got my hands on a bottle. This is a great fragrance. Admittedly, it didn't blow me away the first time I smelled it at Sephora. I had sprayed it on my hand, and I was like, okay, it's nice. It doesn't smell all that much like Invictus. I didn't think it was a must-have as a brand new release right away. Now, it's been at discounters for a while, and finally got around to it, and I was like, why not? Let me go ahead and get it, because I'm a big fan of Olabanum. the resin of frankincense, that incense smoky smell. You get a little bit of sweetness to it. It doesn't have much of an aquatic feel from Invictus anymore, but you do get that typical sweetness that the DNA is known for. With this olibanum resinous dominance, a little bit of sweetness, that's vanillic tone, but very ambery. It's actually quite nice. I wasn't sweating like crazy outside in the high heat, so it didn't really play a role as far as the weather because I was in an air-conditioned truck for hours and hours and hours, but it lasted all day long, and I smelled really good. During the day, Paco Rabanne's Invictus Victory. Then that night, we got to Louisiana. We actually stayed at my grandmother's, and it was another night of clean, classic, pure soap. It's just so enjoyable. It's when it comes to fresh out the shower, high quality. I believe this is a niche brand. It smells extremely high quality. The oils here, nothing synthetic about it. Very crisp, clean, soapy, powdery, flowery, aromatic, and like I said, a little citric, like we spoke of earlier. Musky, but very, very clean. Super clean white musky tone to this. No woods, no ambery feel. This is just a beautiful fragrance. There's supposedly some spices in here, if I remember correctly from the note breakdown. Don't get any spices whatsoever, but been enjoying it. So back-to-back nights out the shower. Clean, classic, pure soap. Moving into Tuesday. This was the first day in Florida. We traveled from Louisiana to the Panhandle, and I wanted performance again, but here I wanted fresher. I wanted more citrus. So I grabbed Alexandria's version of L'Immensité from Louis Vuitton. Let me get this to focus. Not the best lighting setup with what I'm having to work with this temporary setup right here, guys, but this is L'Immensity, their clone of L'Immensité, I believe is how you say it, from Louis Vuitton. A lot of citrus, ginger smell. Good. So good. Rich, juicy, sweet citrus, crisp spice. Very, very fresh and bright. This is an invigorating fragrance. Super long lasting. It's an extrait de parfum concentration. I don't know the exact oil concentration, but it's above 25%. That I can tell you. It wears heavy for being a citrus, fresh, heavy fragrance. Not an overwhelming sillage and projection, but you will smell yourself all day long. And that's what I was going for. Again, being in the truck all day long, I wanted something enjoyable for myself to just wear, to get little reminders throughout the day, nice little whiff, because I love to smell things. That's why I'm so into fragrance. I love different aromas. And this is one of the better fragrances from the house. Now, I've never tried the original from Louis Vuitton, but I'll tell you what, this is my favorite clone of L'Immensité. Dossier Perfumes makes a very good version of it as well. Doesn't wear as heavy. It's a lower oil concentration, so it's brighter and fresher. For a super high heat day, that's probably the better option than this, but year-round overall, for the better performance, you're going to want to go with this one. Just know it's a high oil concentration. Man, it smells good. During the day, for my ride, Alexandria fragrances L'Immensity. Then we got out the shower. You want to talk about a switch up. This was my first night here in this apartment. Sean John, 3 a.m. I've been wanting to wear this one as of late. This is such a great fragrance. Discontinued from what I understand. I can't confirm nor deny, but prices have skyrocketed. The best atomizer ever in the game. Sharp, crisp and spicy, woodsy, gin and tonic smell, soft, supple leather note, a bit of citrus. This is such a unique fragrance that, I mean, I bought a backup bottle, which it's in, I got all the backup bottles are going to go on their own shelf. I haven't put them up yet, but I looked at it when I was unpacking. $12.99 I paid for a 100 milliliter bottle at Burlington. I paid $12 unboxed for this 50 ml. It was brand new a couple years ago on eBay, which is that juice level dropping. I love this fragrance. Big fan of this one. Average performer, but very unique, fresh fragrance. It's such a great daily wear. If you happen to stumble across this one anywhere for a decent price, it's worth the blind buy. There's no guarantee you're going to like it, but I've always been such a fan of this one, to the point to where, I mean, you see the massive amount of fragrances I have. It's taken me years to put this dent in this bottle, which that's a big dent in a fragrance for me. It's going to take me a few more years to empty this, but for me to warrant saying I need to have another bottle just in case, which I'm glad I did, because apparently it's discontinued and I'm not looking to pay a bunch of money for it, so yay for me that I did, when I could, get a 100 ml bottle for $13. That's how cheap this fragrance was, is the moral of this story. So if you can find it for cheap, I encourage you to get it because the price continues to skyrocket. But out the shower, Sean John, 3 a.m. Moving into Wednesday was a long day of... We had more unpacking the next morning. The moving company that was helping me unload the truck came back to finish up the next morning. And it was just, starting to build these shelves, building this desk. It was, I just wanted something, again, enjoyable for me. I wasn't going anywhere or doing anything that didn't involve unpacking and assembling. So I decided to go with Elysium Eau Intense from Roja Parfums, the newest release, the newest version of Elysium. Super polarizing fragrance. A lot of rhubarb here. It's a little sour at the top and bitter, if you will. Still juicy. You still get the grapefruit, but it's not the star of the show. The black currant is, though. It still gives that inky metallic vibe. But this one, I knew the moment I smelled it, okay, there's some people that are going to hate this one. And any of us that got a bottle sent to us for PR that likes it are just a bunch of shills and we're getting paid and all this. And sure enough, that's the kind of crap that I was seeing on the internet. But I told you guys from the start I like this one, and I continue to wear it. Honestly, since I got this, I have not wore the other versions of Elysium. This one's the happy medium. It's not super long lasting, which the Parfum Pour Homme for me is. It's not super metallic and sharp, which for me the Parfum Cologne is. It's more interesting. It's more geared towards the enthusiast because you get more leather here. It's not just citruses and woods, which is basically what it was. It was a lot of citrus and vetiver, basically, with maybe a touch of leather on some people's skin, not so much on mine. Here I get more of the rhubarb, which is a much more unique note. A little sour at the top, like I was saying. It has kind of this damp, earthy feel that's not really all that dirty. Leathery facet is enhanced while still getting the woodiness, and it's kind of middle of the road in performance between the other two versions. That's why I'm just such a big fan of this one. I would encourage you to try this, sample it. Do not blind buy this fragrance. It is the least blind buy safe of the three. Not that as expensive as they are that you should blind buy them anyhow. But hey, we're all adults here. You do whatever you want with your money. I just encourage you to sample it first. But most importantly, sample the Eau Intense first, because you may hate this fragrance. But I like odd fragrances sometimes. And to me, it still smells like Elysium, but it smells like an odd version of Elysium. During the day, Elysium Eau Intense. Then I got the shower. So the fragrance wasn't unpacked yet, but the aftershave splash and the soap were kind of been my go-to lately for when I have to shave. Zaharoff Signature Tabac. I did not have the fragrance out to spray it, so it was just the splash for me, which is plenty strong enough. I mean, just lounging around after the shower in the evening. God, it's so beautiful. I'm a huge fan of this one. I go through spurts. Sometimes it's noir, sometimes it's citrine, sometimes it's rosé. But most of the time, I kind of gravitate to this one. I think the Tabac shave set, because it's the one I go to the most, between this and noir, that's my two favorite shave sets, especially when it comes to the Zaharoff ones. I don't know, it's just a beautiful experience to shave, to lather up the Tabac shave soap and throw on the splash. Obviously, it wasn't the complete experience because I didn't have the fragrance to give myself a few sprays, but it was still lovely nonetheless. Out the shower, had a good shave with Zaharoff Signature Tabac. Moving into Thursday, this was my first full day where we actually went out and about. I did a little bit of rack store hunting the previous day, and it was nice to just get, it was hot, it was humid, it was bright and sunny. It was that typical high heat tropical Florida panhandle temperature that I was looking for. So I went with Label Parfums. This is Salt and Cyclamen. Very breezy, watery flower fragrance. The salt here is not real sharp. It's kind of a smooth, salted, aquatic flower. I mean, the name is fitting. Cyclamen. A lot of cyclamen. That watery flower smell. I'm such a fan of this one. And look, it's not going to overwhelm you. It's an average performer. High quality stuff, niche, fine perfumery. It's literally the name of the fragrance is Label Fine Perfumes. That's the name of the brand. And it's beautiful. I started off with a safe play from them. I picked this up in a collaboration review from our friends at Fragropedia House. They sent this one my way a while back, and I featured it in a few videos now. And I've been been wearing it a decent amount. You know, I'm a huge fan. I actually refreshed later in the day after about 5 or 6 hours, because that's about all it's good for in longevity on my skin, right around the 6 hour mark. It's not going to overwhelm you. It's a very airy and breezy scent, very pleasant, fresh. It's what you want on the super muggy days where you go literally, even if you walk outside for 30 seconds and walk back in, you feel sticky, like the heat stayed on you. You know, that 100% humidity type of stuff here on the Gulf Coast. So fragrances like this really shine. You're going to get the most out of them because they're just an enjoyable wear. And that's exactly what this was. So you'll continue to see this one from time to time here over the next few weeks. More than likely anyways in the rotation. Just beautiful. I would encourage you to try this one if you like breezy, airy aquatics that don't smell like everything else. You might like Label Fine Perfumes, Salt, and Cyclamen during the day. Then we got the shower. We went back to the well. Clean, classic, pure soap. Like I said, most of the week out the shower. This was my choice. More than half the week. Actually, we got one more day of it this week. If you see this one out for 20 bucks, again, it's not that unisex. It leans feminine. It's not super girly, guys. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's not super girly, but it is more of a feminine smelling fragrance because it's powdery flowers and smells like shampoo and conditioner. And that may sound terrible to some of you. I mean, oh my God, why would you want to wear that? Why would you want to smell like that? If you spray it on, you understand the name. The name is fitting. This is storytelling fine perfumery for $20. They did a great job. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. I will continue to wear this one. Hell, I wore it half the week. Out the shower, clean, classic, pure soap. Moving into Friday. I don't know why I was in the mood for it. This was a beach day for us. No, it wasn't beach day. The next day was beach day. We did go out and have drinks at Margaritaville. That's what we did. We went and have dinner, and we had some fruity drinks, as my wife wanted. My mother was in town, by the way, helping us, organize some things, come hang out for the weekend. Went to Margaritaville, and we had a few drinks. Those of you following me on Instagram and saw my stories, you already knew that. I only had 2 drinks. Didn't want to get drunk, I was just having a good time. It was lovely, lovely time. We had Margaritaville had a 5 o'clock it's 5 o'clock somewhere, and then also had it was a blue drink. What the hell? It was a mango drink. I don't remember, but it was blue and delicious. But anyways, nothing to do with fragrance. But I wore Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Pour Homme, one of the greatest fragrances of all time, in my opinion. Spawned a ton of flankers, but if I could only keep one out of all of them. Keeping the original. The original's still my favorite. Always will be my favorite. I'm even going to spray my hand. I love this. I've had multiple bottles over the years. Eventually, this 40 ml will run out. I'll buy a 4.2 ounce. I got this on clearance from Marshall's a few years ago. That's why I even have a 40 ml. I don't see them ever not selling this. I don't care how many times it gets reformulated. I don't care who says, oh, bro, it's weak. It doesn't perform, yada, yada. I get about 5 hours out of it, and I'm cool with that. I spray it heavier than I actually need to, because it smells amazing. This is one of the best smelling fragrances of all time, in my opinion. If you've had it, you probably agree with me, more than likely. Beautiful. Citric, peppery, smoky, breezy, very airy, and a little aquatic and watery, without being too much of a, marine type of feel. Like, it's not super salty, but it is a little salty. The Intense is much more saltwater marine than this. But this is more about the incense and the pepper with the citrus. It's just a compliment magnet. Women love the way this one smells, guys. Always have, probably always will. Just good stuff. During the day, Dolce & Gabbana, light blue. Then I got the shower. You may have guessed it. Another round of a few sprays of clean, classic, pure soap. I've said enough about this one in this video, so we'll just move on. Out the shower, pure soap. Finally, on Saturday, so we did hit the beach this particular day. I mean, we've been taking breaks from unpacking. You can't just do this all day, every day, and just... We're at the beach. Why the hell wouldn't I go to the beach? So, because it had rained the day before, but it was beautiful out there until we got there. Then it rained for a little bit, but only for like 5 minutes, and it was done. But I decided to go with Zimmer Parfums Strange Paradise. Beautiful, sweet, floral, coconut, tropical fragrance. Such a vibe, such a beach vibe, and great for the first day at the beach. That's the memory I'll always have of this fragrance now moving forward, is my first day at the beach since moving to the beach. I wore Strange Paradise from Zimmer Parfums. This is gorgeous. In the vein of a Virgin Island water, but I mean, it doesn't smell like Virgin Island water. Hibiscus Lang-a-Lang dominate the heart of this. Juicy, sweet florals. A lot of coconut. I believe pineapple's in here as well. Is the sweet, fruity tropical smell that you get. Does have a little bit of a sunscreen feel, but quality stuff. This is such a beach vibe. That's why I felt like it was a great choice, because I could have went the easy route. I could have grabbed St. Bart's. I could have grabbed Virgin Island water, Coconut Daiquiri, Coco Loco, Le Beau, any of these just beautiful coconut sunscreen type of fragrances. But I wanted to think outside the box, and I sprayed myself down. I sprayed some sunscreen on, and then I gave myself probably 10 sprays of this, all around the neck, chest, on the top of my arms. 10. It was more than 10 sprays. It was like 12 or 13 sprays. Just because I already had sunscreen on, so I had that coconut sunscreen smell going already, but I kind of layered this with sunscreen, kind of the spray on SPF 30 copper tone. It kind of blended. It worked, I guess you could say, because a little bit of what's going on in there is going on in here. Obviously, this is higher quality, but if you haven't tried this one yet, maybe you should, especially if you're a fan of coconut fragrances. This is one of the better ones in my collection. During the day, for my first official beach day since moving to Florida, Zimmer Parfums Strange Paradise. Gorgeous fragrance. Gorgeous. And then we got the shower. We went back to the well with Sean John 3 a.m. I left it out. It's been sitting here for the rotation video for whenever I would get around to filming it, which is happening right now. Just a beautiful fragrance. Again, I said it earlier in the video, if you can find this one still for a great price, roll the dice. If you're running low on your bottle and you come across it for a decent price, even if you got, let's say, your bottle for under 15 bucks and you come across it for 40, might be the cheapest you ever see it again. Just saying. Not trying to create a sense of urgency. I'm just trying to tell you that it's clearly discontinued from what I've gathered. I haven't been told that officially, just from what I've gathered. And the prices are just way up from what they were. So if you find this one for a reasonable price, I would say go for it. Out the shower, once again, Sean John, 3 a.m. Well, that was moving week for me from Colorado to Florida. And until next time, do me a real quick favor, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. So I do appreciate all the feedback, and I love hearing from you guys. What'd you guys wear this week? Let me know down in the comments. I had steady dropped content throughout the week, end of the day posts. Just a lot of stuff going on. I still got a lot of stuff to do around here. I know you're going to ask about somebody's going to ask about a collection video. End of the month. It's going to be a room tour / collection video, so I got to get everything together. There's still so much to do in here. I'm about halfway unpacked in this room. I still got all my clothes, more than half of my clothes to do, most of my shoes to do. I still don't have my logo sign that's going to go up there, my big 3-foot logo light for my TLTG Reviews logo. So probably last weekend of the month range. I'll keep you guys updated because I know a lot of you want to see the collection. And now that I have these shelves and the situation's changed, I'm excited to show it to you. And until next time, I will say, if you get your hands on any of the fragrances that I wore this week, most importantly, you give them a spray now, you'll probably end up thanking me later. Because they're great. Have a good one, guys.